Man, listen. We back in action today, man.
What's up,
And
man?
so you gonna be able to hear me like that?
Huh?
You gonna be able to hear me like that, or do you want the headphones? Cause I think
Nah, it's cool. Like, I mean, well, I guess I could take the headphones, yeah.
like somebody, cause I mean I can at least like talk, cause we about the same nigga, bro. Like we talk low and we hear decently.
Hit that part right there under it.
You said what's under it?
Loop that part. All right, yeah. Say something.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah.
You hear me though?
Yeah, we good.
All right, nah, you good, you good. Well, shit, man. How's it feel to be, back in action? It ain't Friday, but it feel like a chill ass damn Friday, Saturday, Sunday smack together, goddamn. So
Yeah.
we can call it a fresh weekend, because it can't be no fresh Friday.
Why I can't be no? Well, true.
For sure,
It is Sunday. It is Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm really over here chilling, bro. Like, I feel like this is Woodstock 2.0.
You say you feel like what?
This feel like Woodstock 2.0. You know
Woodstock
what I'm
2.0?
saying? Yeah. Like, that's what this feel like. This feel like Woodstock 2.0.
I
Like,
feel.
honestly, first of all, bro, this ain't no podcast right now, bro. This a conversation. Where we at, bro? What's up, bro?
For sure.
How you feeling, bro?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I'm almost at that point where I'm like, where the fuck am I at? But I mean, we out here for
We in the middle of we in the middle of, where is that? Willows Creek?
Panthers.
Panthers
We in
Creek?
Willows Creek, but we at Panthers Lake.
Panthers Lake. Yeah, we in Raleigh.
Yeah.
We in Raleigh. We out here at the 420 Fest with my nigga Cash Does Kicks. My nigga Trey Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But shit, today we just we chopping it up. We chopping it up about my bro, cause he performing today, man, and I always enjoy you like sliding into like all these different events that you've been at, and just you interacting with the crowd and the genre. I ain't gonna say the genre, cause it's like, bro, I still can't even guess exactly like what's your genre at the end of the day. Like, I don't even think you have one per se. It's just like you got good music. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy? Like, genres are like nature. Like, everything just fits. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything just fits if you put it together with a certain delicacy and carefulness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, okay, the bee that just went inside that wooden hole up there,
I wonder if I could catch that.
I don't know.
We'll see it next time though.
But it was a bee that went up there inside a wooden hole. Now, the wood is like country music, the bee is like hip hop, right? So you go, okay, like, the bee said, there's a hole here and it reminds me of a hive. I haven't built a hive yet, so I'm gonna just post up right here and see if I fit in here and can do what I gotta do in here.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying?
For sure.
So yeah.
So all I'm hearing is that we've been smoking. and for real, like, we need to stop trying to box in music, you know what I mean? Cause like,
Exactly, bro.
the one thing I usually like to tell people was, I see different experiences from like so many different artists, and everybody always, they love saying that their stuff is different. So it's like I wanna stop the notion that we have to keep labeling certain music what it is,
Yeah.
and we just basing it off of a frame of what we're used to,
That's a fact too. It's like everybody does have to say like, oh, I make something different. So in reality, it's like you just make what you make. It's not necessary. I mean, you get it. Niggas is hot. I should probably definitely sit up.
It's crazy that they can't hear none of that right there.
None of that.
Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah.
I'm finna sit up, bro. Because, oh man,
whatever makes you feel smooth, man.
No, you can, hold on, take that. There you go. What I'm gonna do is,
Check. Yes, sir.
okay.
Oh,
yeah, bro.
keep talking. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep talking. How you feel about that?
Yeah. I mean, I ain't got no words. I got plenty of words, but I ain't got no problem. With just kind of like going. It's a real good day though, man. Like I really wish they had water out here or something. You know. You know what? In that meal, she ain't even say nothing about nothing to drink. Now I think about it.
She didn't. You know what's crazy?
Shit.
I saw there was gonna be water at some point. Oh, they about to open the room.
Yeah.
I don't think he found the key yet.
Probably not yet. But I mean, so you know, this is like that vibe. Like I was hoping, and I'm still glad that Healing and Harmony is, I guess, it's still chill like this. So it's like there's no, you can't say that you can't like label other things because like somebody says like what kind of music you make. I make different kind of music, and you know somebody says what they do. Like I have events, and like this is an event, but you make different kind of music. It's like apples. It's saying apples to oranges and shit. You know.
It never was. It's all types of collard greens.
You know.
It's all types of fried fish, vegans. You got you know.
But let's say you know we got Gya music. How about that? Like that. That'd be a great way to say it.
Yeah, especially if I'm the one like, you know, curating it, making it, things of that nature. Yeah, that's what that is.
I won't stop until one day there's like muds who make playlists. I mean, people are already making playlists of artists, but like somebody making a playlist and you get all the influences that artist has made, and it's like wrapped in it, and everybody does that with their favorite artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, Ja made this, but then he worked with niggas who made country music, house music. You feel me? R&B, hip hop. Like they did everything because like they still did good with what they did, but it's like they chose the other route. They said, you know, this is that, and I mean that is that. But this is also this, and if you want to call this hip hop, if you want to call this country, if you want to call this line dance, you want to call this R&B, you know, you can call it what it is. Because I mean, I'm a creator at the end of the day. You know, I make, you know, just like.
Essentially, I make.
You don't tell Rembrandt that it ain't a Rembrandt. You don't tell Pablo Picasso, oh, this is Cubism. He's like, nah, this is a Pablo. He said, this is what I made. Y'all like to label it, but I mean, I made what I made, and what you looking for is a Pablo.
Right. Exactly. And I mean, essentially, what I made is for who wants to have it.
I don't think that frequency was good enough. You need to go up a little more.
You hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
All right, for sure. All right, yo, we are back. We are back for another episode of Fresh Fridays. And I don't know if I introduced it last time because even then it wasn't no Friday. But I'm back with my homie Ja.
It was like a Sunday, huh?
It was a Sunday, but I mean, I don't think I introduced it. I don't think I did. I don't believe I did.
Word.
Yeah. And we even stopped it like kind of early, but you know, it was still pretty cool, man. You know, it was dope, you know, being able to perform with you at the 420 day. You
We
know,
did.
it was
Huh.
it was it was a dope time for real, man. You know, everybody who's tuned in, you know, who's gonna catch this, like a lot of what I do comes out the strength of me just like meeting new people. And like the past, I think I met you in like what, 24, 23.
Probably it had to be like 23, cause uh yeah, it had to be like 23.
Like the tail end, because I mean it was basically it was I think like the first or the second event I did at the artist block.
Yeah, no, you know what though? It was like middle of last year. This shit just feel like it's been 2, 3 years.
Mm.
Like
But it was like middle of last year. We done put some good work in, like over the like shit, not even 12 months. I don't think almost like really like over the 9 months. And I knew a nigga like
Really, I've done a lot. Been,
some real
been
work.
cooking up in Charlotte, been, did a couple things in Winston, bro done pulled up to me a few times in Raleigh to, help me with some content. I think twice or three times at this point. So,
Maybe twice, something like that. Yeah.
so, if you need an artist to book with, somebody who can keep the crowd enthused, engaged,
Huh?
everything under the sun, man. This is the man to see. You
On the
know,
good foot,
I
because I'm
pre
sexy.
I appreciate my brother for real, man. So I mean, I think what we were because I remember whenever we were pulling up to the event, I
Hmm.
know we were talking about like how we wanted to just kind of like chop it up on a few different things. With the one thing was like something that we kind of been dealing with the past few months is like, constant change, you know, and like I don't know about you, but I know it's tough, but it's also I'll say it's one of those things that I'm glad for it because I always feel like I want to be on my toes.
That's real. That's
But at
real.
the same time, it's like when you get used to routine and getting used to the consistency that you make, it's funny how God timing works.
Mm,
And his
mm,
change for you may not seem like the change that it's due for at the time,
right.
but I'm glad for it because
Yeah.
you never like you never know until I would say the current happenings or the present, like when you always like thinking about the next, like your next move, and you're not like really constant in how things around you are going, or you're not aware about what's happening, and
Right.
you see, things start to shift rapidly, you know, you can think of it as a monkey wrench, but you can also think of it as like, okay, I gotta rework everything.
Hmm.
I gotta regroup. I have to think about what all these things are telling me while
Hmm.
they happening.
No, for sure. Like precisely, like when you say constant change, I was getting ready to say, if you ain't doing it, ain't nothing moving. You did what I'm
Mm,
doing. So it's like, with that being said, bruh, like you say, the changes that have been put in place, especially in my life personally, I know they've been developmental. You feel me? The hope that I've been brought to an extent, not the hope, but the change of pace that
mhm.
I brought to. It's all been developmental from the folks upstairs, from the big one upstairs. Cause for real, like you can't you can't continue to operate at the same rate expecting change. You feel me? I heard something yesterday where they were talking about being consistent and being progressive go hand in hand, but are two very different operations, right? Because this is you consistent and this is you progressing. You know what I'm saying? You hear it and
Hmm.
you do this, you know what I'm saying? So, um, with
I
that
wish
being,
I could do that straight line up sometimes, but
yeah,
goddamn.
yeah, we all want to do the straight line up, but I don't think anybody has ever really had just a straight line up, unless you just been like a winning athlete your whole life. Like, you feel me? Like I think
Or you a Trump baby or something like that. Like,
yeah, and even that, like, oof, that's tough. You know what I mean? Like, that's a tough position to be in. So, uh, so I mean, yeah, bro. Like I say, I don't believe there's any progression without any type of genuine, rate of change or change of pace or anything in that nature. Like I say, development wise is necessary.
true. It's like stocks, they say what goes up must come down. So,
Hmm.
when seasons happen
Yeah.
where Like you know that you're meant to be noticing things are getting more active. Because I mean we all work on the same, I feel like the same ebb and flow. Like especially artists, because I think like people forget like harvesting is a real thing, and
Yep.
it's like being Southern, like you kind of take it for granted because you kind of only think about like some of the I guess like some of the simple nuances about being out here, but like everything is tied to a lot of things. Like, the 420 day, like, most times people crop bud, around like October, November. Like,
Right.
that's when you really, really growing. That's why I like around that time, like that's when the season's dead. You ain't got but so much around.
Right.
And, that's why mugs end up, breaking in your car because they finding some good shit that they done smelt it like 2 cars away, and it's just like, dang man, I'm tired of the Reggie I'm getting.
That's tough.
But like,
That's tough.
but with that whole event itself, it brought a lot of things together. It brought around, I mean, because if you think of like tax time and everything too, like, once somebody gets like they flip on a business, they already thinking like, how am I gonna capitalize on this extra money that I just recently got? Am I
Right.
going to put it in the marketing? I'm going to put in promotion. What am I going to do? Like, it makes sense that everything kind of falls around the first 3 to 4 months of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting crop like fresh crops generally, the shit that everybody really, really wants to get.
Exactly.
Money is, out there a little bit more. So, people are spending more. So from an artist standpoint, like it's always good to like, go ahead and start planning any events that you're hoping on using as a vehicle for, I would say, the masses to see you, or at least like the affluent, the affluent in the industry, not necessarily just like, your managers or your
Yeah.
A&Rs or anybody like that, but like
Right.
upgraded. How much time we got? 10 minutes. God dang, it's the same thing as last time. Well, we can come back, but yeah, generally like any of those people, like they're already kind of knowing that the new things are coming. That's why South by Southwest was like, usually around March, April. And then you have like the Coachellas, you have the Lollapaloozas, like everything kind of starts off a little harder in the beginning because everybody has like this little bit extra.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you kind of work around those things.
Yeah.
And I mean, still people have like markets that are, more, I would say like are more profitable, like, during like those colder seasons, like, wintertime, you definitely get more, wrapping paper and shit. Um,
Facts.
Definitely around like August, you're getting, your pencils, you're getting your utensils, like, your stocking supplies and everything, like, kids going to school, like everything is based around some of the same things that we look at and deal with every day. It's just people don't always use the timelines that they notice, and they want to go with their own thing. And, sometimes the thing can be good. It's just
Mhm.
all about timing. And what is good timing was God timing. You know what I mean?
That's a real thing, bro. Good timing versus God's timing is crazy, right? Because we talk a lot about executing certain parts of the year and things in that nature, and just executing overall, bro. And a lot of times, what we'll think is perfect timing, good timing, can sometimes be set as a distraction, right? Like
Mm,
sometimes you don't even realize like just because it feel good don't mean it was healthy for you at the time or whatever the case is, or just because you were able to talk yourself or convince yourself otherwise or whatever the situation is, it's not always the best for you.
mm,
That God timing thing is real, bro. God's timing usually is not as pretty. It's definitely not easy, right? God's timing is usually the one that's most beneficial, but the hardest to get through because
Mhm.
at that point you really sit and listening and just kind of keeping straight and you believing and you got faith. Um, you're not trying to force no issues or nothing in that nature. You see it on the forefront and you got to kind of be able to say, okay, like once it's shown, I believe. Belief is a
Part of
huge
it, yeah.
yeah, it's a huge factor when it comes to timing. Belief and timing are one and the same, bro. So yeah, like you say, like understanding good timing versus God's timing is a real thing.
And, I say most of that to say, I've hosted my own things and sometimes I've had, I won't say luck, but I've had favor
Yeah.
and I've definitely experienced good timing,
Hmm.
but on a lot of times, on a lot of hands, I've experienced God's timing.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah.
I'm doing everything I want to and can to push an event that on paper sounds like it's good timing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
then, you don't account for all these extra factors and you don't account for like what is meant to happen,
Right.
when you're
What
dealing
you
with all
want
these
to
things
do,
and people.
what your purpose is when you're doing something, right? Like a lot of us just be doing shit to be doing shit because we see it happening, but in reality, we don't go into it with a mindset of like, all right, this is what I'm trying to gain from this. This is what I hope will happen after this. This is what I'd like to see when this happens, things in that nature, right?
Hmm.
So, with that being said, bro, yeah, like I feel you on that one. That's a real thing.
And we got 5 on the recording. What
Yeah.
we can do, let's chop it up about healing and harmony because I mean, I feel like that's still one big series that can be pushed a certain way, but I just want to see what it is you see from it so that, we're on the best page
Yeah.
of how to go forward with like getting it out there for the people.
Man, healing and harmony is an entity. It's a way of life. It's a body of music. It's a developmental idea, still in the baby stages of its development to an extent. The toddler stages of its development.
Mm.
Um, with that being said, healing and harmony is a genuine mind state, right? It's a legitimate mind state that I was in or I'm constantly in now. Um, and it's one that I want the listener to be able to adapt to as well and give themselves grace on, gives themselves grace through their growth and while on their journey. On top of that, it is a developmental business idea that we'd like to start implementing into communities. Uh, to be able to provide certain parts of the community, whether that be some type of breakfast in the morning or some type of clothing drive, food drives, anything that we can do to generally get into the community with healing and harmony is what we'd like to do. Big brother programs, big sister programs, um, you know, all of those things that correlate to being the better version, the things that allow us to see to the other side is what we'd like to implement with healing and harmony.
Mm.
Uh, so as far as the body of music goes, uh, again, we probably end up deluxing it, adding a few more tracks. Like I said, that's the first time I've announced that to the public.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I was like kind of wondering because I mean I've heard a decent amount of your music so far, and Healing and Harmony sounds like its own thing. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, sonically it sounds like, you know, something that I would say promotes more than just a vibe. It promotes understanding yourself
Hmm.
and upliftment is a big thing in it from what I've heard.
Yeah.
And not to say that like none of the other music that you have doesn't also cover that. It's just like I know there's music that people need to hear to open up their third, and then there's music that's there just so you can tap, you can feel, you can
Mm.
move, you can do all that. And I
Yeah.
I like how you can do both.
Yeah, man, that body of work is exactly what you said. It's a life of its own. It's its own entity. It's like it's the newest child, right? I treat my songs like children. So this body of work is the newest group of kids
So
that um yeah, man, and that part and the entity that is healing in harmony. Again, it's a genuine mind state that I've A have taken on, and B excuse me, am in constant pursuit um of changing, or in constant pursuit of developing, rather, constantly trying to develop a better rapport with family, friends, God, you know, constantly trying to build and be better so that the next people, the next wave of kids, the next wave of adults, they come in like, okay, this, we know what the bad stuff is. We know how to do wrong. You know what I'm saying? How do we make it better for ourselves?
mm, real admirable, man. I appreciate it because I mean, I feel like everybody who I bring on,
Mm-hmm.
um, they're all for changing narratives and
Mm-hmm.
making sure that what they got going on is known. And we're gonna tap back in, and I hope it can be at another Healing and Harmony. And that way we can get like the full like situation that we try to do on 420, which was still
Exactly.
it's still pretty cool, but
Mm-hmm.
I just hope everybody tap in with my homie Ja. And I think it's ITSNAMEGYA pretty much everywhere, like IG, TikTok.
Yeah, my name is Ja. My name is GYA.
Oh, my name. All right, my bad. I said it's. Well, hey, it is what
My
it
name
is.
is Ja.
All right. Y'all